So what I'm about to say is certainly going to ruffle some feathers. And unlike some of my talking heads where this side of the equation is hunting and this side of the equation is anti-hunters, both sides of the equation have hunters. What we're talking about is the Arizona ban on trail cameras for the take of wildlife. You have people on this side of the coin that are pro trail cameras being used. There are those on this side of the equation that are anti-trail cameras being used. And I think both sides of the coin are going to be upset with what we're about to say. And if that's the case, then I think we've done our job. Because you see, there's no bad cop in this situation. It's not like someone is actively taking the right to hunt away from you. But on this side of the coin, they believe that that's exactly what's happening. It's infringing on our ability to hunt. In this scenario, you have two factions that are passionate about hunting, both with valid arguments. And let's just clear the conspiracy theory right now that HSUS is behind the commissioners banning trail cameras. Just because HSUS jumped on the phone line and supported the commissioners, well, any anti-hunting organization would have done that because they feel like it is perpetuating their agenda. Which again, lends into the argument of the guys that say, we should have trail cameras, you should not be banning trail cameras. So at the outset, when you dissect this scenario, there are many tentacles with lots of conspiracy theories and lots of opinions. So I want to break it down into very simple questions. Do we agree with the commissioner's wholesale ban on the use of trail cameras to take wildlife across the entire state of Arizona? No. We are completely against the idea of one bad apple or a certain sector of bad apples being the representation of the entire hunting community. And unfortunately, a wholesale ban really reflects the isolation of a bad apple to all the other guys that are doing it in a fair and just way. Do you absolutely need trail cameras to hunt? The answer is no. But Robert, you don't understand Arizona. You're not from Arizona. You don't hunt Arizona. It's so vast and the animals are so spread out. How are we supposed to find the animals? I don't have to tell you how that sounds. The removal of trail cameras does not impinge on your right, your privilege, or your ability to hunt. Do trail cameras help outfitters find wildlife for their clients? Yes. Clients have in some cases very little time, and you could argue the general public also has very little time, and they want to maximize their time going into the state of Arizona. The client-outfit relationship, though, is tied to economic gains in the state of Arizona, which is important to conservation, to the GDP of the state itself. Do outfitters need trail cameras to locate wildlife? The answer is no. The outfitters know the land better than anyone. They spend countless of hours out there searching for game, put hours and hours and hours behind glass, figuring out the patterns of animals so that they give their clients the best opportunity to take the wildlife that they're chasing. Is the use of trail cameras considered fair chase? According to the national organizations of the National Deer Association, Pope and Young, Boone and Crockett, they truly believe that trail cameras are an element of fair chase. So the commissioners went against three national organizations when it comes to their definition of fair chase and the use of trail cameras therein. Do multiple cameras, say a dozen, around a waterhole and checking those cameras have an influence on wildlife in that area? The answer is possibly. From a logic perspective, it makes sense. Anytime any human activity or any human disturbance goes into an area, you're going to be affecting wildlife patterns. That's logic. That's not science. A lot of people will say, well, where is the science? The science to get that type of information would be a very difficult endeavor. You would require significant amount of baseline and significant amount of post-implementation data, probably out to 5 years. And then you have the issue of how do you monitor or how do you assess the impact on health tied to trail cameras. Does the banning of trail cameras remove the right to hunt? The answer is no. Do trail cameras make you more of an efficient hunter? The answer is possibly. Be sure to hear that I said efficient, not effective. Could the banning of trail cameras stop someone hunting? The answer is yes, tied to the whole time and being efficient component. Does the banning of trail cameras lead to the whole death by 1,000 cuts scenario? The answer is yes and no. To the blue-collared individual that lives down the road that has 3 days a year to hunt, then yes, it's going to impact hunting for him. To those that spend a lot of time in the field scouting, glassing, the answer is no. Does the state of Arizona banning trail cameras set a dangerous precedent for hunting in other states? The answer is time will tell. Time will tell if the commissioners were absolute pioneers for wildlife conservation in the state of Arizona, or the ban was an utter failure, and when the rule is opened again in a number of years, it will be rescinded. Because this topic is so controversial, this week Blood Origins is releasing 4 podcasts all around the Arizona trail camera issue. We have a neutral party, we have those that are pro-trail camera use, we have the commissioners again that obviously banned the use of trail cameras, and then we have a wrap-up in terms of our thoughts to the entire situation. I'm sure this talking head is going to cause a little bit of controversy, and that's okay. Difficult conversations are needed, but the only way to have productive, difficult conversations is if everyone keeps a level head and talks about their position using some well-stated opinions, some facts, some holes in the other person's argument, because that's okay. That's okay. Dialogue and conversation of opposing paradigms or opposing opinions is okay. Look forward to getting the feedback.